Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This will be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we have got another ×10 summon event. I feel like this is a weekly occurrence now. Player must be doing well out of these events because they keep putting them on every week. And this week we're going to see the Dark Elf faction. Dark Elf's actually a pretty decent faction, guys. So I guess it depends what you want. There's going to be a ×10 for Ancients, Sacreds and Voids for the following champs. Let's go through them. I'm going to start with the epics. Who have we got from the epics here? We have got Lujah. Lujah is probably the weakest of the ones that they're going to put out for this ×10. For me, and let's just see how she's reviewed here. She's reviewed quite high. I do have one built up. I'm not a massive fan of her. So she's got an A1, which is quite good. Decreased defense, decreased speed, heal reduction. Kind of nice for Fire Knights here. She does have an AoE freeze. She's the only epic, as far as I'm aware, that does an AoE freeze, and it's on a 75% chance. She can also do a block revive on this hit. So maybe she's better than I give her credit for. I just haven't really given her any time. For the arena, AoE freeze is godlike. It's up there with one of the best debuffs in the game, especially if you're trying to crowd control. Block revives obviously really meta at the moment to try and take down some of these kind of offensive champions in the arena as well. So this skill here is actually very cool. And then she's got a block buffs on her A3 as well. So it's only attack one enemy though. Can book it up to 100%. For me, she is good, but not great. Not great. Okay base stats, okay skills, very good A2. I don't think her multipliers are that strong, so that's kind of what lets her down. She doesn't do tons of damage. So the next one is the Void, one of the Voids in this. We've got Lujah. Lujah, I've got a guide out for Lujah. She's a really, really cool champion. Great for Fire Knights, great for the arena. Does tons of damage on this A3. She's got a full turn meter depletion on her on her A3. A2 does tons of damage, and then she's got an A1, which is fairly unique. Hits once and then deals 50% of that damage again to all other enemies if it's a crit. But the extra damage never crits. So it feels stronger than it is. Or reads like it's stronger than it is. But I do have a guide on her. I used her for Fire Knights against Stu a couple of times. She's good in the Spider. So she's definitely a worthwhile champion if you don't have her. Would I pull shards for her though? Probably not. Probably not my Voids. I'll probably be saving. So far I'm saving. Next one is Sylar, another Void champ, kind of in a similar bracket to Lujah. Really good champion. If you don't have a campaign farmer, she could do it for you. Very good base speed. Everything she does is AoE, so she's got great ability to be able to control waves in stun sets, that type of thing, or just kick out a ton of damage. Decreased speed AoE on her A3, which is really good. So again, would I pull shards at this point? I probably wouldn't personally, but I'm sure there's some people right now that are thinking, I've got some Void shards, and a Sylar or a Lujah would be really good. So 3 epics in the mix. I'd say all mid to top tier, not top tier. They're kind of in that kind of next bracket down in terms of usability. None of them are top tier for any area of the game, but they're all pretty consistently going to be available to be used anywhere in the game if you're like a mid-game account. So let's move on to the Legendaries then. Now the Legendaries are good. The Legendaries in this faction are good anyway. Yeah, pretty much if you pulled any of these Legendaries, maybe except Astrolith, then you're not going to be that disappointed with it. So who are they throwing out there? We have got a Ghostborn. I was just saying that. Where is he? Ghostborn. So Ghostborn is really solid in the arena, really solid in Spider, great for places like Fire Knight 20, Ice Golem 20. He has got an irresistible, he's irresistible, this guy. Look at him. He's a guy, right? Yeah, it's a guy. Definitely a guy. Look at those forearms. Anyway, irresistible A3. So he can do decreased defense. If you got books on him, 100% chance to land it. The big version of decreased defense, and it can't be resisted, which means you could build him 0 accuracy, tons of damage, tons of speed, and he would be really useful for you in the arena to always land that decreased defense, unless he gets a weak hit. And the trouble with him is he's a magic, so he's a spirit affinity, and his weak hit would be against magic champions. There's a lot of magic champions in the game. So I used to run him in my arena team. I found that he did get a lot of weak hits. So this one for me is just a little bit of a something to watch out for. He does at the same time though place an increased attack for everybody else. So drops people's defenses, boosts up your nukers, and then your nukers go in. So very cool champ. He's got a decreased defense on his A1, and he's got a heal reduction on his A3, but you do need accuracy for this to land. It's another AoE hit though, and it hits pretty hard. So if you forget about the heal reduction and you just want to hit hard on 2 abilities, then this will be a nice one. It's also got, it's a bit of a weird one. It's got an extra bit of damage multiplier on speed. But you do want him to go fast anyway, so it's kind of like just a built-in bonus. But yeah, 100% chance to land if you do build the accuracy on. Good champion, good base stats all the way across the board. Really decent, usable legendary. So let's go into the next one then, who is going to be Foley. Foley has become one of my favourite champions. He's been sitting in my vault for a good 6 months, or whenever it was we did that fusion, and he's now out the vault in my #1 arena team. Took me to Plat last week. He is bonkers now. I don't know, I feel like they didn't really change him, and I was just sleeping on him. He is insane right now. You can build him very high damage. He's got good multipliers on this ability here on his A3, and he throws out a block revive. So this is an absolute Rotus killer. It will take down, some of those healer champions, and they won't come back. It will take down the damage champions, and they won't come back, even if there's resurrectors on the enemy team. It's AoE. So AoE hits once, but there's one person you target that will always hit twice. Really strong champion. I absolutely love him now. He does have a decreased defense on his A1. It's a 4-hitter as well. So he's got some functionality in the clan boss if you wanted him to. He's got a lot of functionality in Fire Knights. 4-hitter here, 4-hitter here with Leech. But for me, his place is the arena. The best thing about his whole kit is his passive. He heals for 20% of his HP and boosts his own turn meter whenever someone tries to play stun, freeze, sleep, or provoke. So if you think about the arena meta right now, stuns, freezes, sleeps, they're everywhere. He can just soak that up, gain some extra health back, and boost his turn meter so that he pretty much goes next. It's on a 5-turn cooldown, so it's not going to happen like all the time. But if you get that first initial freeze from a Tormund, he gets through it and actually goes first. If you get Sifi coming at you with a sleep, he's going to just laugh it off and then go and crack her in the face. So really cool champ. I absolutely love Foley now. Really cool champion. And I think visually one of the best in the game. Let's move on then. So the next one, I'm not a massive fan of Queen Eva. If your end game, she probably is not in any of your teams. But if you're mid game, she is a beast. So it depends where you are in the game, I guess. I wouldn't be pulling shards for a Queen Eva, personally. She's the best campaign farmer for 12-3 brutal in the whole game. That's without doubt. So that is an area where she really shines. Massive base attack, good base speed. All she's about really is this A3. Every time, so it's an AoE attack. She every time she kills someone with this attack, she gets this ability reset. So on campaign, she kills the wave, it resets the A3, and she goes and goes again. Always just killing the wave. So she always has this ability up if you've got enough damage on her. The other nice thing here is she's got her own aura, which increases crit by 19%. And she's got an additional 15% chance for this to land, which means that, what's that, 34%. So you've got an additional 34% on top of this 15 here for this skill in crit. So you only actually have to put about 50% crit on her to get her up to that 100-odd%, so that this is always a crit, which makes her really easy to build high damage for this ability. The trouble is, when you get past kind of level 15, 16 dungeons, her ability to kill will drop down because everyone's got such higher health pools and stuff like that. So this becomes less effective, and then you're more reliant on these first two skills, which aren't as good. She does have a block revive on her A2. I guess there's some possibility this can be used in Ice Golem or something. But for me, it's too situational and I don't really like it. But for a campaign farmer, brilliant. Anywhere else in the game, past level 15, 16, I think she's pretty average. I imagine she probably scores highly. I think these scores are, I don't know, are they fair? I don't know. This doesn't feel right. Anyway, Queen Eva then is going to be the next one. We've got 2 more to go through. We've got, next one is it 2 more? 2 more? No, 1 more. No, 2 more. Yeah, so Ray was part of a tournament actually once. So a lot of people picked up a Ray or an event, whatever it was, where if they finished first in their group, they got themselves a Ray, which is a really good idea. I loved it. I already had a Ray anyway. She is super effective. Brilliant arena champion. Good in dungeons as well. She's got this A3, which removes all buffs from an enemy. That's why she's so good in the arena. She can go in first for you, slam the enemy, and remove all their buffs, and has got a 50% chance to freeze them. Like 3 excellent things all wrapped into one ability. You can book it up to 70% as well. She's also got this thing here where she does more damage on targets that have got debuffs. If you just push her full damage, she can one-shot waves. She can one-shot a full team in the arena easily with this. Someone throws out decreased defense and decreased attack, something like a Stag Knight. She follows up and slams them into the ground. Very good champion. And then she's also got this chance here, 50% to put the big version of decreased defense on as well on another AoE. Very good champion, can use her in tons of places. She's got a speed in dungeons, massive speed aura here. I really like her. I've got her, pretty top tier, I'd say. Pretty top tier dungeon and arena champion. You definitely see her in some teams for plat, arena, so not to be laughed at. And then lastly, we've got Blind Series, the Void Legendary. Now, if you think about the voids we've had so far, Sylar, Lujah, and now Blind Seer. For me, this is not a session where I'd pull voids. I've got a Blind Seer. She helps me in Faction Wars. She helped me beat 21. She's the only champion that kind of came into the team and made a big difference because she does have a revive all dead allies here and puts block damage on them. But to do it, she eats some of her own health, which I don't love. She can put shields on allies and block debuffs. This shield does not scale like a Santa shield or a Warlord shield or any of those big ones, Miscreating Monster, nothing like it. It's nowhere near as good in terms of the scaling. If this shield scaled well, she would be top tier, but it doesn't, which means it's on a 4-turn cooldown and it's a pretty minimal shield. So for me, that's not the best. And then she's got a bit of decreased turn meter and a multi-hitter here on her A1. She is good in Fire Knights. She's good in Faction Wars. I wouldn't use her outside of that. I don't use her outside of that. Massive defense aura for dungeons. I love this. This is huge. 42% is massive. Pretty much throwing 400 extra defense on all your team. But yeah, it just feels like she needs a bit of a buff here on this shield. But for me, I wouldn't pull Shards over Blind Seer. She's got great base stats. Just her abilities are a little bit meh. Don't scale very well. So that's it, guys. It is 8 champions, 3 of them void, 5 non-voids. I'm not going to pull any shards for this because I don't need any of these. The only people that I would suggest going for, if you don't have them, maybe is Ray and Foley. But for me, this probably is a no-go on shard pull times 10s. The one thing you do know, though, or I can tell you, is it is going to fall in line with this Summon Rush. So, if you're going to have to pull shards for the Summon Rush anyway to be able to get this new fusible legendary, then it's not a bad time to do it. So that kind of does fall in line. But anyway, up in Hell Hades, let me know what you think below. Is this something you're going to do? Are you getting involved with these times 10s? I'll catch you all soon.